Cool. Kenny Wilkerson, Nova Rex. Hey, man, what's going on?
Hey Brian, how are you doing, man? Glad to talk to you.
Good. I'm an 80s guy and stuff like that. I just don't know how I missed Nova Rex. Being a collector, a photographer, and stuff like that. I never really knew anything about Nova Rex until recently.
Actually, there's some history there, obviously, right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
you know what I always say is like, look, not every band became Motley Crue,
Right,
but it's not that they didn't have a career.
right.
You know what I mean? So, and my thing was, we were smart enough to run. You know, if you've seen the doc after grunge, I mean, I went back to the Midwest,
Right,
bought a few more years before they caught on, and then just then obviously a dozen years ago the resurgence happened,
right.
with the 80s stuff. And I was already on game. And what was wild, you see how all these artists now, because nobody's getting radio airplay, right? That's why guys like you're in business, you know what I mean? Give these guys love. But and it kills me too, because some of these bands that we grew up with sold 20 million albums and they can't get a record deal.
Right, yeah.
So there's nothing left. So the only thing left is just performing live. And
Right,
then even that's getting squeezed and squeezed.
yeah.
But everybody's doing documentaries.
Right, yeah. Yeah. They
And
are.
and 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 I got lucky for the fact that I did one back in 2011.
Right.
So it was literally Spinal Tap. What was that one? Anvil. Remember those
Right.
guys,
Yep.
Canadian dudes?
Uh-huh.
And then that same year, ours came out.
Wow.
And now here it is, 23 years later, or 23 years later,
Uh-huh.
13 years later, right?
Right.
14 years later, and we got the new one, Novarex Ain't Easy, Staying Cheesy, which is
Cool.
available on Prime, Tubi. I always say there's so many streaming services, Brian, that I say everything but Netflix and Hulu,
Right.
but
Yeah.
everything, all the other 500 ones that's on there. But
Right.
if you just want to see about, band, I mean, you've
Yeah.
seen it, you know what's going on, the
Yeah.
struggle.
Cool. Yeah, I watched the documentary. I thought it was great. Really informative. You learn a lot about the band, and I enjoyed it. You
I
know.
appreciate it. I mean, it's obviously low budget, right? But my whole thing was just to try to tell a story.
Right.
And that's just some of the stuff I've done, dude. That's not everything.
Right. Yeah.
And what kills me, it's like back in the 80s, man, we didn't really record a lot of stuff.
Right. Yeah.
We
Wow.
stayed out of jail that way too, by the way. But I'm just saying we didn't record a lot of it. So it's hard to find all that past footage, but I had enough of it. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
Story. So
Cool.
yeah,
But you guys put out what, 7 albums?
7 albums. Yeah.
Right.
The first one we did back in 1987. What happened was we moved from Florida. We were in Florida for a couple of years back from 85 to 87. Like I said, it's our 40th anniversary. Here, let me give you this. This is my new t-shirt.
Yeah.
Boom,
Cool.
baby. 40
Cool.
years.
Nice.
40 years of anything, right?
Right.
But we did that for a couple of years. Then we did like 3 songs in the
Right.
studio. It'd be an original band, right? And oops. And then we went out to LA, picked up a manager, and ended up getting a production deal with MCA Records.
Cool.
Dude, I'm like 21,
Uh-huh.
maybe,
Right.
and we had with our management company, Al Bell was the president,
Uh-huh.
and
Cool.
Al, he ran Motown for a while.
Right. Yeah.
He was the president, but so I had those kind of guys around. We had a personal man, but anyways, they went in the studio and we recorded the rest of the stuff. We used the 3 songs we had plus a whole, another dozen,
Right.
and basically just got shelved like
Yeah.
everybody else at that time frame. But it's still, we had endorsements, we had management, we had all the good stuff, and then, like I said, the grunge thing come around, and as you can see in the doc, what the story was from that.
Right. Yeah. Wow. Which album, in your mind, was the most successful?
Oh, without a doubt, it's the "Blow Me Away" from 1992.
Uh-huh.
That we started off. I mean, starting off, we were more bluesy rock. Like we liked Whitesnake
Right.
or Foreigner. You know
Uh-huh.
what I mean? We kind of leaned that way at first, and then the following album, 1994, "Ain't Easy Being Cheesy," which is hilarious. I did that in spite, man. I mean, because at that point, grunge was full on,
Right.
so we went opposite. I went Jackal on crack. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
was doing stuff like "I Just Want to Rock" and you know those kind of those kind of songs. Just
Yeah.
fun stuff.
Cool.
So
Cool. Tell me a little bit about you guys ranking for VH1 rankings and hair metal.
Isn't that cool that that happened?
Yes.
Somebody sent me that a few years ago, but VH1 did a ranking of the top. Well, it was actually the top 100
Right.
glam bands from the 80s, and we were number 48.
Right. That's
48
good.
out of 100. That was pretty good, man.
Yeah.
We were ahead of the Bullet Boys.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know who did this, but I'm sure
Right.
the doc helped out a lot on that,
Right. Yeah. 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 Wow. Wow.
But
Wow. So,
yeah, so everything's been cool with that. And then, I told you the other thing I was doing is a passion project of mine. I have a son who just turned 23. I just got the one boy, and he's on the autism spectrum.
uh-huh.
Now he's high functioning, so that's cool. But
Yeah.
excuse me, I had him in autistic schools and stuff, I mean. But
Right.
I ended up putting out a book. What happened was I had a radio show, an FM radio show, and I was interviewing a lot of these guys that are in the book, guys from Ozzy, Whitesnake, Quiet Riot, Warrant, etc.
Right.
Right. And so then I found this charity called We Rock for Autism. It's a 501c out of South Florida. I kept meeting them at these festivals. And I'm like, I have a great idea. So what happened was I just came back from New Orleans. I was interviewing this bass player. And the guy said to me, man, I'm from New Orleans. I got this gumbo recipe from my family. It's 100 years old. So he
Right.
sent it to me, right? Because I'm all in. So after he did that, then it kind of became a gag. And then I started collecting. So after I had about 25 recipes, I was just like, I reached out to the charity. I'm like, well, I have the charity and recipes. And then I just buckled down, reached out to the rock and roll community, and put out this book. It's 57 famous rockers. Most of these guys, like say Joey Allen from Warrant,
Right.
he's got this marinara sauce that is from Italy that his family, I remember the year the book came out, he bought a bunch of them for Christmas to send to his folks, family members.
Right.
Here's Doug Aldrich, by the way.
Cool.
So I mean, and the book is really inexpensive. I made it too cheap.
Yeah.
The book sells for $29.95, and it cost me $12.50 a book to make them.
Right. Yeah. Cool.
Steve Lukather,
Nice.
that
Uh-huh.
guy's a stud. You're right. I know I got Ricky in here. Oh, they're talking about Joey Allen.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah, if you
Yeah.
want
Yeah.
to check it out, you just go to rockinrecipesforautism.com, and then the proceeds of the book, obviously I got to get some of my money back for
Right.
just
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
cost of the book,
Right.
but the rest of it goes to just different autism organizations.
Cool. Cool. You
And I've
know,
got the backstory on that. I'm like American Idol, man. I mean, I had a
right.
kid with autism, you know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? I did the whole thing. So, and
Yeah.
I know I've been there, I've had meetings. It's they say, I can't even remember right now, but it's like 1 in 40 kids in
Right.
America have some form of autism. It's outrageous.
Yeah.
And because I'm like, where were these kids when we were young?
Right. Yeah.
You always had that one little kid that was a little bit off in the
Yeah.
corner of your room, but they have classrooms full of these kids now.
Yeah.
And a
Yeah.
lot of them are nonverbal. Teachers don't
Uh-huh.
know how to handle them. And
Mhm.
and the thing is, these kids are really smart. A lot of them are like Rain Man
Yeah.
on certain levels. They have something they're into that
Right.
I'm like, these guys should all be working at SpaceX.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Find out
Like,
where the drones are coming from.
yeah. Cool. Yeah. My son Tyler is autistic, and
You know,
he uh, he stays up almost all night long
yep.
making envelopes. Not, he draws the envelope, he draws the stamp, he draws little pictures on the envelope, and it looks like you could just mail it. It's not a real envelope, but he made
Right.
the envelope. And like if I go shopping, he gives them
Mm-hmm.
out to all the employees, and they love it. You know,
Oh, that's cool. So he's verbal. He can speak and
at
stuff
times,
at times, right?
right?
See, I
When he
got lucky
wants
because
to,
my
when
kid
he,
won't shut up.
yeah, only when
That's
he
my problem.
wants to. Like,
Yeah.
if he wants to go to Wendy's, he'll he'll
Right, right,
tell me.
right, right.
You
Well,
know,
and I love picking my kid's brain too. He said something to me the other day about fast food. We were talking about uh, burger. What did he say to me? It was a really funny line.
uh-huh,
Arby's.
uh-huh,
Arby's stands for roast beef.
uh-huh.
See what I
Yeah,
mean?
it really
I was
is
like,
almost.
and then when he was in younger, especially middle school and elementary, you have to, what's your favorite color? What's your
Right.
favorite this? And he would leave it blank.
Yeah.
And he would get an export. And I'd say, son, don't you? And he's like, I don't have one.
Uh-huh.
So as you know, a lot of it's with autism, it's a lot of literal. Everything's literal.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Although those autism kids are pretty good at working the system too. They can
Oh
lie to
yeah.
you when they want to.
That, oh, he knows because he knows how to annoy me that I'm gonna do it for him.
Mhm.
Like if I say, don't tell him right away, I'm taking you to Wendy's or Burger King or
Right.
McDonald's, because he'll stand right in my face until we go.
How old is he now?
He's 28.
28. Yeah. Mine got somewhat better. He
Right,
didn't get worse. I mean, I used to have to go to a store, to a restaurant that was loud, and he would do this
right. Yeah,
or
yeah.
get aggressive. You know what I mean?
Yep,
Because they can't get their feelings out.
yep.
Many times as a kid, we had to pull out of there,
Yeah.
take it to go. You know how that is. You're dealing with it.
I
So I
know.
mean, I bless you. And what that means, it's a special. We're in the clique together. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yep.
So there's a special little family of kids because I always said I thought I was going to take my kid and he was going to be the quarterback on the football team and
Right.
dating
Yeah.
high school cheerleaders and all
Yeah.
that, and it didn't happen like that for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mine was if I could just get socks on his feet.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, my son is all daddy. Everything's daddy, you know?
Mhm.
Um, he actually cooks, but I don't let him use the stove.
I got you.
Okay. He cooks everything in the toaster oven. We don't use a microwave really. So like
Mhm.
the air fryer I let him use and the toaster oven, but not the stove. But
No, I got you.
it's great. Like he'll put a frozen pizza in. He knows exactly the times and everything.
Is he a heavy kid?
Yes, he is a heavy kid and he's big. He'll crush me. He's like 6'8".
Oh, dude, yeah, you can't even really throw down on him on any level.
You
You
don't know
can't.
how strong these kids are. He is
Well, listen,
strong.
my kid's 25 pounds heavier and 5 inches taller than me.
Yeah,
Plus, I'm getting to be an old man now too,
yeah,
but my kid is good at the kitchen. He wants to
right.
cook everything.
Yeah,
He doesn't do any recipes. It's all got to be by taste. Matter of
yeah,
fact, Christmas just came and I got him a big rack of like 40 different kinds of spices
right. Yeah,
from
yeah,
all over the country, and he loves that gift.
yeah, yeah. I bet you he
So he
does.
likes to cook, but the problem is, I'm like, dude, you have to get a job,
Yeah,
and again, like you, unfortunately, your son might live with you forever, right? I mean, I don't
I
know,
would think for the rest of my life.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So my kids can be by himself. I mean, like I said, he's high functioning.
right.
But he still doesn't have a job. He's never worked. He dropped out of school at 15. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? I couldn't put socks and shoes on him for years.
yeah,
you know uh just those quirky things, all the quirky
right,
stuff, I got it all. Now but the problem was he was my only child, so as growing up I didn't have anything to compare it to.
right. Yeah,
I mean, act like a 2-year-old.
yeah.
So we didn't really even figure anything out till after kindergarten.
Cool, cool, cool. Well,
But so
yeah,
bless you, man. I feel for you.
but that cookbook's really cool.
Yeah, thanks, man. I mean, this, like I said, it's I can't remember, man, 127 pages,
Uh-huh.
57 famous rockers. Everybody's got, I thought I was going to get some crazy stuff. I thought
Right.
I'd get ramen noodles or
Yeah.
mac and cheese with hot dogs,
Right.
rockers, right? But the problem is, all these rockers that we're talking to now, these guys all have families, kids, restaurants. Most of them are cooks.
Yeah.
And the thing about being musicians in general, they're just creative people.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And everybody has one good recipe,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
grandma's chili or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
So, but
Definitely.
yeah, and there's some really pro dishes in here too, by the way.
That
And
that's
here's one of my favorites. Well, there's Ricky with
uh-huh.
his vegetarian black bean
Yeah.
sliders.
Uh-huh.
But where was he at? I had right here, the late great Frankie Vanel.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's got pumpkin ravioli with gonzalo. I can't even say it. Look,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
fancy,
Yeah. Okay.
fancy.
Gorgonzola.
Thank you. I'm
Uh-huh.
from Indiana, man, so that's how far as my education went. So,
Yeah.
but
So
again, if you go and check out the doc, Nova Rex Easy being saying cheesy, you seen that I did a segment on the cookbook
right.
in there,
Yeah.
so that'll pretty much explain everything that's going on.
Cool. Cool. So tell me about Nova Rex. You got some new material coming out too?
Well, we're always working on new stuff. The problem is with the way the music business is now. You know how bad it is.
Right.
Nobody does albums. It's all singles with a
Mhm.
video.
Yeah.
It's a whole different animal. So, and it's hard to make money on it.
Yeah.
I mean, the Spotify and all these things rip you off.
Right.
So, like I said, the only thing really left is just playing live. I seen a thing the other day, just actually yesterday on Slaughter. Mark Slaughter was talking
Right.
how he was all bummed out that nobody wanted to hear any of his new music.
Yeah. Well.
But here's the thing, I get it because
Uh-huh.
they're truly selling a time frame.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah,
like if I would go out and see freaking Fats Domino. I
yeah,
expect to get that kind of show. Do I want to hear new music from Fats Domino? I don't think so.
uh-uh.
Just give me the hits. Jimmy Buffett, give me the hits,
Yeah,
right? Give me the hits. So,
yeah,
but God bless that they even had that.
yeah.
Now they get to live the rest of their life doing Vegas residencies on, 8 3-minute songs that they wrote 20 years ago.
Right, yeah,
What a great gig, right?
yeah, yeah. Especially with Mark Slaughter. I mean, you got some Vinnie Vincent stuff if he's allowed to play it, okay? And then you got the Slaughter stuff. The early stuff was great. Like you said.
I'm a big Slaughter fan, dude. I
Yeah,
love them. I
yeah,
mean, they should have been bigger than they were, probably.
right,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? But I get it. And the thing is, I'm a bass player, dude. You know what I
uh-huh,
mean? I'm not that guy where I got to just keep being that creative all the time. My thing is more about the promotion part of it.
right,
Just like in the last, like just talking about things that have happened to the band. Obviously we got voted in the VH1 top 50 is what I say.
right,
The Smithsonian National Museum of American History, and I've been there. I've taken
right,
the
yeah,
tour.
right,
They have a whole display there representing 80s metal from me,
right, yeah,
from the band. I got a Budweiser bass. You can look it up, Google it.
yeah, yeah,
Well, you've probably seen that in the doc too. And then just the hard rocks, my local museums. Just the last cool thing that happened is I'm from Indianapolis originally,
uh-huh,
even though I've been in Florida 30 years.
right,
They just put a whole display in September in the Indiana State Museum,
right.
which is beautiful. Dude, I'm right beside Axl Rose, David Lee Roth, John Mellencamp. I mean,
Wow.
it's pretty amazing, as well as Dan Quayle and Reggie Miller and Bobby
Right, yeah,
Knight.
yeah,
You know what I mean? But I'm in. I'm like, how
yeah.
awesome. So the only thing I got left to do is try to get a statue in my hometown, and then I'm done.
Cool, cool, cool.
And then people say, "Why do you do it?" Because I can.
Yeah, yeah,
I want it all. I want everything everybody else got. Right? It's
right,
like
yeah.
me. If I can't go do that, I'll just go book my own show and make it happen.
Cool, cool.
I'm that guy.
Tell me a little bit about Nova Rex merchandise, and people could get it and like the shirt you have.
Yeah. So what you want to do, I kind of grouped it all together. I am horrible about merch. What happens was you get t-shirts made. I give half of them away. I send one to my buddy. Everybody in the band and their girlfriend wants one. And then time you're done, the ones you do sell, you hope you get your money back.
Right.
So I'm the worst. But what you want to do is go to rockin recipes for autism.com
Uh-huh.
and because that's a Square account. And
Right.
I've got the t-shirts there.
Cool, cool, cool,
So
cool,
you can
cool.
go there, check out the doc, check out the book anyways. But if you go to online or whatever to buy, you'll see a t-shirt in there too.
So do you have a recipe in that book?
I do, of course I do. Matter of fact, I was going to do a chili, which I'm
Uh,
actually making chili right now in a crock pot.
uh-huh.
Got this great, but Ron Kill.
Yes. I
So
did an interview with him just recently.
Ron sent me a chili recipe.
Uh-huh.
So I mixed mine up. I wasn't gonna, you know what I mean? I was just happy the guys were going to be giving me anything, right? I didn't
Yeah.
care what it was. But because I wouldn't be in that greedy. But so anyways, long story short, I made
Uh-huh.
a meatloaf on steroids. It's got bacon and cheddar cheese in it and all that.
Right, yeah.
So, but yeah, man, I just seen a picture a minute ago. I had Don Dawkins. Don Dawkins, the chef.
Oh yeah? I
He's
didn't
he's
know that.
another one of those. He's another one of those guys that owned a restaurant and stuff.
Wow.
So, but yeah, you just have to check it all out, man. It's a rockin' recipes for autism and tons of bands.
Cool, cool, cool. It's always
And,
good
and
to
plus it's never been done before.
oh wow.
And I know
It,
why, because it's expensive, bro.
cool, cool,
I
cool.
mean, paper's expensive. $12 a book.
Yeah.
That's my cost.
Wow.
Well,
Um,
try to order 5,000 of those and get back to me.
forget it. It's too
Or you should see
expensive.
my garage; it's packed.
Wow.
And
Cool.
plus, the thing that happened to me too, it came out right after COVID.
All right. Yeah. Oh,
So
wow.
all the media was shut down. There was no place to go. Now, I will tell you, it did get featured in Rachel Ray, so that
Cool.
was kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
You know,
but no, go ahead.
good. How do you compare, when you put out your first album, Turn It Up Loud in '87,
Yeah.
compared to now?
It's different. We talk as because we just even did a Christmas song, right? We did a
Right.
remake of a Christmas song.
Yeah.
But my thing was just trying to stay true. As you even seen in the doc, how we were trying to chase trends there for a bit,
Right.
and it never works. And
Uh-huh.
plus, what is the trend now?
Yeah.
And the other thing about me, for me personally, is I only know one way, and that's to crank it to 10, like Spinal Tap.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
whatever I'm going to do, I'm just going to go and do it to 10. Like I
cool.
said, AC/DC is the king of it. Just be
Right.
AC/DC every damn song.
Yeah.
And then you have
Yeah.
a 50-year career and it's freaking awesome. You
Cool.
know, I always think that, and there's certain bands that can do it, but pick a lane.
Right.
I think that, I mean, I'm upset now that you got Beyonce trying to do country. I
Yeah.
mean, that's just because she had $25 million,
Right. Yeah.
right? To promote it. I mean, and then she gets snubbed at the CMTs
Right. Yeah.
because they get it, but she'll win a Grammy because you can buy a Grammy.
Right. Yeah.
Everything,
Definitely.
listen, you can buy everything.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I mean, you want to sleep with my wife? Give me $1 million. I mean, everything's negotiable.
Definitely. Definitely. Tell me a little bit about the other members of the band.
Well, the other members. So let's start off with Greg. Greg, the guitar player. Greg Paul Carey. He's been in the band for 10 years.
Uh-huh.
Great guy. One of the nicest musicians I've ever met, which kind of freaks me out because I've usually guitar players are cocky as hell.
Yeah.
His claim to fame is he plays every once in a while with Brittany Fox, if you remember those
Oh.
guys.
Yes. Yep.
My drummer Sean, local guy down in Tampa, his big thing, we call him Mr. Saw Bladehead, and
Uh-huh.
the reason is he does well, he's a drummer, so he makes a lot of drum kits.
Yeah.
He's done stuff for Alice Cooper, let me think, Kiss.
Uh-huh.
I don't even know. He just did one for Queen's Right.
Cool.
So you see these crazy ass kits that come out. They have names too, the Locust or the whatever.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Mike stands. That's what
Uh-huh.
he does. So if you ever want to check it out, it's called Saw Blade Head Designs.
Okay.
He actually is really talented.
Cool.
So it's just kind of a bonus for the band. Like, well, did you seen the video that we did last year for "Time Is Up"? That's a new
Uh,
song.
right.
You see that drum set that looked like a damn tree?
Yeah.
That was
Yep.
incredible, right?
Yeah.
So he does that kind of stuff. And then John, who's been my buddy forever, John Basaha. John, the crazy thing about this is I put the band back together after a few years off back in 2011
Uh-huh.
with the doc and all that, right? Because I got picked up by Anheuser-Busch nationally. It was on Doc Channel. It was on Netflix. I mean, it was a whole thing going on.
Right.
So I ended up getting the band back up and gearing. So we got John, and then John, great singer, been whatever. But the thing is, he ended up getting a gig with the Babies
Oh,
about a
wow.
year later.
Uh-huh.
So now the Babies don't play a lot,
Right.
but they play enough. So I just work around his schedule now.
Cool. Cool. Yeah. My friend did keyboards for the babies, Eric Ragno.
Well,
He,
I'm sure I know him
yeah, yeah, yeah. So like, I
because
mean,
I actually, believe it or not, I just went to a show a year ago with Journey and Toto.
right. Yeah.
And I didn't get in. I went to the show, but I didn't get in because of Steve Lukather. I went in because the keyboard player used to play with my singer.
Right. Yeah.
So I
Cool.
got in that way. It's
Cool.
like me. I'm like 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon at this point in my life. If I don't know, I'll at least know the wife,
Uh-huh.
the merch girl, the roadie,
Right.
the sound man. If I don't know
Uh-huh.
the guys in the band, you know what I mean?
Wow. Wow.
So
Wow.
it's kind of fun. And what's really fun too, and with you, 25 years ago, I couldn't talk to half these guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now with everybody being older,
Uh-huh.
and obviously with all the social media, hell, you can talk to anybody you want.
Yep. Yep. So what are your feelings about the vinyl coming back?
I think it's a BS. The problem with that is the vinyl's only coming back because CDs are doing so bad.
Yeah.
So it's not that they're killing it. It's the numbers are still this way.
Right.
Here's the funny thing about CDs. So like I got a DVD on this. Now I didn't make it. The manufacturer did, right?
Right.
It's a Blu-ray. I don't own a DVD player.
Right. I don't think
Now,
I
now
do either.
I could put this in my kid's Xbox.
Right.
Everything's streaming. But
Right.
back to CDs, same thing. I haven't had a CD player in my computer, in my car for 6, 7, 8 years.
Uh-huh.
I mean, so what do you do with them? And here's what they do, anyways. The CDs is for live performances.
Right.
Now, you're going to have your hardcore fans. Don't get me wrong, right? That's always there.
Right.
But what they're going to do is they're going to go there. They're going to buy that thing from you for 10 or 15 bucks at a show. They're going to get the band to autograph it. Then they're
Right.
going to put it away and still download whatever songs they like.
Right. Cool. Cool.
That's because you got to play it. Yeah.
In
I
my
think the thing you have to worry about, bro, is AI.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Meta.
mean, I'm the guy on that, and I swear to God, in 3 years from now, listen, I can write a song right now in 30 seconds that sounds better than anything that Steel Panther ever wrote
Right. Yeah.
because it'll do that vibe.
Right.
And I can go, I want Ozzy to sing it. I want it to sound more country. Add a banjo, 30 seconds, and it'll produce a whole song for you.
Right. Yeah.
What do you?
Right.
What's so? Why would because you already know radio you got to pay to play, right?
Right.
I mean,
Yes. Yeah.
so if you're not you got the money for that, what's the next thing to make money? Is soundtracks, right?
Right.
Brad Gillis and these kind of guys do that. But why would you have to pay him now when you can just copy a 30-second riff for your
Right.
movie on AI? So
Right. Yeah.
I think that, and I think what's going to happen is going to kill that, and it's also going to kill all the writers. Which
Right.
after COVID, there's no writers anywhere. Orlando Sentinel in town, all their writers are from Chicago.
Right. Yeah.
They're just
Wow.
passing stuff around on AP wire. They're not really. There's no body to go, hey, give me some love. Local love, right?
Cool.
So yeah, I think the music business is going to hell. And then they're going to talk about doing AI as far as concerts. Kiss talked
Right.
about it.
Yeah.
But what kills me too is how do you get these undead? You got to call them undead now, right?
Yeah.
But how do you get a? I mean, like I just seen a kid from BK, right? That North Korean band, South Korean band.
Right.
Those kids.
Yeah.
One of them just did a duet with Elvis. I'm like, how does that? Does Elvis want that to happen? Like they talk about Prince has all these songs, right? Well,
Right.
these songs that are put away are put away for a reason because they were not good enough to release.
Right. Yeah. Right.
So people are just taking advantage of all this crap. And
Right.
then the other thing that freaks me out too is the publishing. That's what flipped me out. It's been happening all of 2024. Bruce Springsteen, Elton John,
Right.
uh, I forgot who else, but these guys are getting $350 million.
Right. Yeah.
Well,
Wow.
how is ASCAP or BMI ever going to get that money back?
Right. Yeah.
I don't know what the plan is.
Yeah. Wow.
So
Wow.
I'm like, they're buying their rights. So now they don't own any of their music, which I get that most of these guys are 70 and they're going to bail, right?
Right.
I mean, they're not going to leave it for the family, right? So,
Right.
but it's just weird how the music business is completely crazy. There's only guys like yourself out there that are just keeping the flag flying,
Right. Yeah.
which
So
I appreciate.
what's your feeling about tribute bands? They're doing really
That's
good, man.
another one. That's another one. So here's my thought on that too. So okay, so back to original artists. You have to think about all the artists that are out there now. They're all just singers. Your
Right.
Taylor Swift. Nobody cares who the drummer is in Taylor Swift.
Right.
Or you got Bruno Mars. Who's the bass player in Bruno Mars? Nobody cares.
Right.
So it's all just single artists. There's no bands per se anymore. And your question was, tribute bands. So what happens, like even here in Florida, Central Florida, these cover bands down here are like any other cover bands. They're out bringing their PA and they're playing 3 sets for $800,
Right.
right? I mean, that's basically it, 8 to 1,000,
Yeah.
whatever. But now what they can do is they just say, I'm just going to be a Motley Crue tribute, buy some party supply wigs, which is horrible.
Right.
And then I'm going to go out and charge $1,200 and just play a set of Crue.
Right.
But like in a 50-mile radius here, bro, there's probably 50 of them.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, isn't that kind of cheating? So my thing was, and I'm good with the tribute bands. I like it, especially if the tribute people are dead, like
Right. Yeah.
Prince and stuff like that. But if you're going to be, see a Motley Crue tribute or Van Halen tribute, you got
Right.
to play you got to play a Kramer.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
You have to have all the pieces right.
Right. Yeah.
Like, so you're corporate, like I mean, if a tribute band's not making minimum $3,500 minimum, they're
Uh-huh.
not a tribute band. They're a
Yeah.
cover band that's wearing some party supply wigs. And I think it's going to hurt because who are the next people going to write songs?
Right. Yeah. Wow.
AI?
Yeah.
Tribute
Yeah.
bands ain't writing songs. They're just trying to work off of other people's crap.
Right. Yeah.
So
Wow.
I
Well,
don't really get, I mean, I understand that there's tributes, but it's so saturated, man, that it's just wiping it all out.
yeah. Well, what about all them Kiss tribute bands? Every state got
That's
a couple,
another one.
you know?
Here's the problem. I look online and sometimes I don't know if it's Kiss or not.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I mean? It's like, and they word it a certain way and everything. I mean, whatever. I mean, I guess it's a compliment on a certain level, but it just kills me that these tribute guys are so freaking cocky.
Yep. Definitely.
It's like, dude, you're playing a stick song. Get over yourself. You didn't write it. And
Uh,
here's what kills me is when they go, "Oh, that Van Halen tribute band was so awesome. The guitar player is as good as Eddie Van Halen." And
yeah.
it almost makes me want to fight the guy. It's like, dude, what are you talking about? No, he's copying Eddie Van, and he's not even doing a great job at that. Anyways, So that's my tribute stuff.
Cool, cool.
Well,
So what?
I've only got gloom and doom for 2025, right? Rock
Yeah,
is dead. Tributes are taking over. No more original music. Spotify, Live Nation, Ticketmasters are all scams.
yep,
You know what I mean?
definitely, definitely. So
So, and
what
so,
what's the
but,
next step for Nova Rex?
so what I've been doing, honestly, people ask me, I haven't played a gig in a few months, but that's after literally 40 years, man. So
Right, yeah,
I told the guys, I said, look, let me just chill out. I wanted some time off. Believe it or not, road dogging is not that much fun.
right,
People seem to forget that, for me and being the boss, unfortunately, is that I got to book the gig. I got to make sure we get paid. I got to make sure we get on time. Oh, my singer's hungry. He wants to eat here, but the drummer wants to eat over here. Where are we staying at? How long is the thing? What's the sound check? How many songs we got to play? Is it a cash or check? Do I get paid tonight or tomorrow? And you're like, dude, just go up there and play your 8 songs.
right,
You
yeah,
know what I mean? It's so what I'm saying, it takes 24 hours and 23 hours and 50 minutes to go do 10 minutes.
right, yeah,
Even when we did Sturgis, we go out to Sturgis. What do you do all day long?
right, yeah, yeah,
Till 10 o'clock at night.
yeah,
I mean, that's get drunk. You know what I
yeah,
mean? I mean, it's so that part of it's kind of rough. I'm a little bit over that. And
right,
then just that this I try to bring the vibe up. You know what I
uh,
mean? Money, everything else.
yeah,
So I'm just not I'm not and the thing is like a gig like Rocklahoma, right? Beautiful gig,
right,
right? Great gig.
yeah,
Doesn't pay nothing. But
uh,
the thing is, after you played it 4 years in a row, do you need to play it five?
right, yeah, yep,
I don't have any, like, there's no goals.
right,
My goal, what? You get a statue in my hometown, I guess. I mean, I
yeah,
can get a Hollywood star if I can raise 100 grand.
yeah, true,
Everything's money. But I mean, what else am I supposed to do? I've done commercials, I've done everything. I
yeah,
would love to cut another song, but my thing was I was wanting to do more of a soundtrack,
right, yeah,
just because I thought that would sound better, instead of a greatest hits, just go,
right,
sound and double down on the movie,
cool,
which is good. The movie's been seen by thousands of people.
cool,
So
cool,
I'm so basically 2025, I'm just waiting to try to put a 40th anniversary show together that's worthwhile.
right, yeah,
It's what are you doing it for? Are you doing it for the crowd? Are you doing it for the money? Are you doing it for
right,
the publicity? It has to have something
right,
there. And it's never usually about the money.
right, yeah, cool, cool, cool,
So
cool.
yeah, man.
Good, good. Well, Kenny, it was great talking to you, and I appreciate the chat. Would you like to say anything to the fans out there?
No, listen, totally appreciate you guys. 40 years, it's been awesome. It's only because of the fans. We're happy to keep the hair metal flag flying. And if you want to check us out, go to novarexrocks.com or Novarex and all the social media stuff. And hey, and go get the copy or check it out. Go rent it. You can go, like I said, you can go to Prime, Tubi. There's some places are free. And as far as the cookbook, 29.95. I mean, my
Cool.
God, you can't beat that.
Yeah, cool,
It's
cool,
almost a 2 pound book.
cool, cool. Well, thanks a lot, Kenny. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you, man. I'm glad you got your guitar pick. I wanted to be part of that.
Thank you. Bye bye.
See you.